Do you want a performance machine? Do you want a very good looking bike? All for a really affordable price? Well, stay tuned because I got something good for you. That's so cool! Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's guest, we have a CFMoto 675SR-R, a gorgeous brand new bike from CFMoto. And the bike colorway that you see currently, this is called the Nebula Black. It comes in two other variants, a Nebula White as well as an Airlight Gray. All three of them look like stunners to me. They are just absolutely gorgeous. CFMoto has done an amazing job with this bike. Like, look at the front. Those are some really cool daytime running lights. Like, let me turn them on real quick. There you go. It's just absolutely cool. And then the main headlights are down here. So yeah, I've seen a cover for this that makes it look even more aggressive. I will put a picture of it like over here if I can find it. But yeah, it's an absolute stunner of a bike. You know, for the front, it's got brake ducts. For the rear, it's got this Cyclops tail light. You know, I think that just looks, it looks odd, but it's new and it's, you know, it's daring of CFMoto to put that. You know, these are the turn signals right here. Really cool. Neat tail section, just is super clean, spiky, gorgeous bike. Now, let's get into the engine of this bad boy. So the power plant for this bike is a 675cc liquid-cooled, fuel-injected inline 3. Yes, you heard me right. It's an inline 3 from CFMoto. This engine produces about 95 horsepower at 11,000 RPM and about 70 Newton meters of torque at 8,250 RPM. Aside from that, it's got a 6-speed wet multi-disc manual transmission and is all cradled in this beautiful aluminum, wherever it come from, aluminum alloy frame. That is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm not a fan though, just a side note, of this big gaping hole right here. I think they could have added something there, but you know, they're trying to save as much weight on this bike. The engine, by the way, on this, CFMoto claims that it's only 54 kilos. So the rest of the bike is what makes up the rest of the weight, which we'll get into once we sit on it. Now let's talk about the suspension and brakes on this bike. So for the suspension, I wanted to start up here because I just want you guys to see that each individual canister of the fork tube has adjustability. Going back down here, you can see that it is a 41mm upside down fork and it is adjustable for preload as well as rebound damping. For the front brakes, we have 300mm dual disc brakes that is hugged by this J1 caliper, which a viewer of mine said that these are Brembos, just, you know, cheaper, and they do the job. These are 4-pot radially mounted calipers. You can see that the bolts go in this way. When it's axial, it goes that way. And you can see also we get this awesome big brake cooling. I'm not sure exactly how you're gonna max this out on this kind of bike, but it's definitely a big plus to just see that. It is, you know, it doesn't cost much for CFMoto to add this, but it's super cool. It is gorgeous. I love it. It just gives a whole thing to the front, you know, makes it look even better. Now for the rear suspension. So for the rear suspension, we have a KYB monoshock that is adjustable for preload as well as rebound damping. Behind that is the rear brake. So the rear brake is a 240mm single disc that is hugged by this single pot J1 caliper. For the tire sizes on this bike, it is a 120/70/17 for the front and a 180/55/17 for the rear. For the pricing on this bike, it comes in at 438,900 pesos. That is just amazing for what you get. CFMoto, you are really making waves. You know, I said this in my previous video. CFMoto, You're making waves, and damn, we are just enjoying the ride with you guys. Amazing bikes for the money. Now, let's sit on this bad boy. Okay, let's sit on this gorgeous bike. Swing a leg over her. There we go. Immediately just grabbing these clip-ons. It's very aggressive. It is a very sporty bike. It's got this gorgeous tank flare here that makes it feel very MV Agusta style. I like it. Tank capacity is 15 liters. Seat height is 810 millimeters, but it is adjustable. You can adjust it to 795 millimeters, so lower, or higher to 830 millimeters. And the overall weight of the bike is 189 kilos. That's wet and ready to ride. With the engine, CFMoto claiming that the engine is only 54 kilos. Overall, riding position, very sporty. You know, if you're a young rider or a seasoned rider with a very strong back, this is definitely the bike for you. I love it. Makes me feel like I'm in a jet fighter. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the cockpit area of this bike. So here's the cockpit area of the bike. Honestly, I feel like a jet fighter just sitting on this right now. That's the vibe I'm getting from this bike.
What the fuck was that?
And already with the paint scheme and everything, it feels even more like that. Now let's talk about the controls as well as the panel and everything. So for the left side, you could see it's very similar to the 450MT. It's got multi-directional pad to go into the TFT screen. It's also got your blinkers as well as your horn down here. It's got a high beam, low beam, and then flasher. And then it's also got a traction control button, so you can turn it off or have 1 or 2 stages of traction control. And then you've also got your clutch, which is also fully adjustable, by the way. You can adjust it for clutch fade, I'm assuming, or however far you want the clutch out. So for the right side, we got your hazard switch, you got your ignition, as well as a function switch down here, which I assume is for the media controls, because you can connect your phone to the screen. And it's got your cable throttle as well as your brakes. These are CFMoto branded brakes, you can see right here, and it looks a lot like a Brembo brake, which is really nice with this reservoir. Now, let's check out the dashboard. So for the display on this bike, it is very similar to the 450MT, but the layout has some slight additions because the bike has more features. It's got a tachometer, there's your speed, there's your gear, but it's also got a special little thing down here. This is actually showing you the current temperature as well as the PSI of the tires front and rear. That is a really cool feature. And then just below that is your odometer and your average consumption. You know, if you press the buttons, you can cycle through your trips. And also next to that is the clock, as well as over here on the right side, there's your speed, there's your neutral and gear switch. This actually has the same thing as the 450, which is an arrow that points up whenever you are shifting or when the bike tells you need to shift. You've got your temperature and fuel gauge, you've got your side stand, you've got your quick shifter, and you have traction control. So you can turn it off here by long pressing, and then long pressing again turns it on, and then tapping changes it to 1 or 2. Now, because it's a 5-inch TFT screen and you can connect your phone to it, we have got a lot of settings that we can play with in here. You know, it's got your upshift alert, you can check your quick shifter, and also your traction control. Aside from that, you can actually connect your phone to this, and it gives you the functionality of like an Android CarPlay thing. And you can also change the themes if you want theme 1, which is the one we had, and then theme 2. Now we're in the racing theme. And you can see that if we press the leftmost button, it tracks your lap. So you can check how fast you're going after each lap. Super cool stuff. Now let's suit up and go for a ride. Okay, now we are on the bike. We are just getting ready, and let's give her a little cold start. The starter on this has a little bit of a delay when you tap it. There you go, see? So you just have to tap it once and it starts. Now the bike is still pretty cold. Give her a minute to warm up. Okay. Bike has warmed up enough. It's about 54-ish, which should be okay. We're just gonna go around town. We're not gonna rip it or anything, so it should be fine. And then no special feature here that ups the revs unlike the ZX4. But yeah, first gear, very, very torquey. This is me not putting any gas, by the way. This is all just the gear, just the motorcycle pulling itself. That is very, you can tell it's a very torquey bike. But that's just the nature, I guess, of an inline 3, because it produces power all the way from the low range all the way up. The exhaust note on this is insane. Side note, it does have self-canceling turn indicators. You'll see in a minute. It should cancel once you do a turn. Let's do another turn. Actually, I think it did not detect that. There you go, see? Fully self-canceling turn signals. Pretty cool feature. Not sure what activates the self-cancellation part. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't work 100% of the time, I guess. There you go, see, it's canceling itself. Now let's get into like some city riding and see how she performs. Okay guys, so city riding on the 675 SR-R. How does it feel? Honestly, it feels abysmal. It is a sort of like a super sport-ish, or you know, it's a sport bike. So you're leaned over, hunched over the gas tank. And because it has about 94 horsepower, you're pretty much always on the lower gears. And also because it's a 3-cylinder, it's actually very, it picks up, like look, barely any gas, actually no gas at all. The bike just goes. It is phenomenal. I am enjoying this engine so far. But yeah, city riding, super cool that you can also check your tire pressure right here. It tells you the temperature and the pressure, which is cool. 34 in the front, 39 on the back. And yeah, cockpit's pretty clean. Mirrors really wide and far out, so you can really see behind you. Usually most sport bikes you can't really see much behind you. But yeah, so this is really neat. Gas tank, I love the design. It is a very neat and well done. It's like it has a very I don't know how to say it. I like the vibe. I like the feel of the bike. Yeah, bike feels amazing. And yeah, right now we're just trying to get on the highway while doing some city riding. And yeah, just giving my thoughts on the city riding of this bike. Overall, I've just been in first and a little bit of a second gear, maybe third. Other than that, if you really want to make the bike scream while you're just around the city, you definitely want to be in the lower gears. But because it's a 3-cylinder, every gear pulls. Every gear on this bike pulls. The power delivery is amazing. You don't have to rev the bike out that much. That is just, you know, the nature of an inline 3. And yeah, I'm enjoying this bike. Yep. Clutch pull on this, very soft, which is very good. So you don't get tired a lot, unlike some other bumpy road. Unlike some other bigger bikes. Overall, yeah, power delivery is phenomenal. Quick shifter only comes up at about 6,000 or 6,500. That's usually when you want to shift or use the quick shifter, just so, oh my god, it's bumpy. Just so you get a little bit more of a smoother transition from first to second to third. But overall, it is just so smooth. CFMoto's done an amazing job. Even for city riding, I am loving the overall ergonomics. I mean, obviously it's not for everyone, but I'm a sport bike kind of guy. I think if you're gonna do a lot of city riding on this style of motorcycle or this sort of like engine, oh, hang on, sorry, I had to swerve out your way. But yeah, if you're gonna do a lot of city riding in this style of motorcycle, I would suggest getting the NK version, because the CFMoto makes a naked version of this. That's what NK stands for, naked. But yeah. Woohoo! It's not a thing. The torque on this is not like an arm pulling, sort of wants to rip your arms off kind of torque. It's very gradual, smooth. I like it. And yeah, very, very good for city riding. Obviously, you're not gonna enjoy the riding position, but the torque, the power, the smoothness, oh my goodness, it's just juicy smooth. I love it. I love it. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I hope you enjoy a little bit more of this riding city footage. Sorry if I'm swerving left and right. I'm just trying to filter through the traffic. Yeah, that's kind of like where I live. That's kind of how motorcyclists try to get through traffic. There's a lot of switching lanes just to get to where you need to go. Oh. Fake neutral. Oh. Okay, so I did a false neutral twice. Let's go, guys. It's game time. Turn and burn. Oh. Very awesome bike. Amazing. I enjoy this bike so much. Oh, brakes are so good on this bike. It is amazing. Oh, this is so much fun. Beautiful, beautiful. It feels a lot like the Z900 in terms of power delivery because of how smooth each gear is, as well as how much pull each gear gives.
One eternity later.
Okay, you can see that it's already nighttime. So the 2025 CFMoto 675SR-R. What do I think about this bike? Before I get into my conclusions and my thoughts about this bike, I just want to give a big thank you to Laptrip. They are a super awesome rental company, very similar to Moonstrider, and Moonstrider has hooked me up with them to get a review on this bike. Now, they have a lot of bikes in their lineup, so please take the time to check them out in the description below. And again, thank you so much, Laptrip, for giving me the opportunity to do a review on this bike. Now, what are my thoughts on this bike? Honestly, it is a superb bike for the price. That's the biggest selling point of this bike, is that it is a premium packaged bike in a very affordable price point. Now, the 675SR-R is kind of like a Daytona revival. It's CFMoto's take on the 3-cylinder 675cc bike, and honestly, they did not disappoint. It's feature packed, it's performance oriented, and it's just priced so aggressively competitively that you can't really complain much. It's an awesome bike for its price point. It's got lots of features and it's just super awesome and fun to ride. I am enjoying this bike. Definitely, if you guys are, getting back into super sport kind of bikes, this is one to get. Little side note, I had my girlfriend sit on this tiny little seat and she described it as feeling sort of like a dome. But yeah, other than that, she can't really say a big verdict on if it's comfy or not, but it's definitely rock solid compared to the seat that you get here. So those are my thoughts, guys, on the 675SR-R. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this bike, and if I missed anything, please also let me know. Consider leaving a like if you genuinely enjoyed this content, and please consider subscribing if you do, because it just helps the channel out a lot. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace! Oo, naka-vlog.
Yun o.
Hello. Thank you.